Hello, this is your girl Simple Beauty, and welcome to Simple Beauty Talks. Okay, so the purpose of this video, or any videos in Simple Beauty Talk, is just to bring up different kind of either current events or past events or anything that I feel like is interesting to talk about, and to open up a dialogue for everyone to be able to come in and talk about, because there are things that people really do need to talk about, and sometimes they don't have no one that they can go to. So I wanted to create a forum of, hey, like a girl talk, let's have a Simple Beauty Talk. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so for today, I have 3 different topics to talk about. One dealing with a celebrity, and then one dealing with children. So for the first one, I'm going to definitely open up with a celebrity. So let's guess what celebrity has been in the hot seat. If you guessed R. Kelly, R. Kelly.
Oh Lord, not this ninja.
That's one of the topics I wanted to talk about, because there's so many different people who have so many different opinions, and it's so funny because a lot of the opinions that I have heard or have read, under other videos that talked about this was, the fact that, oh, the woman's grown, or, hey, Hugh Hefner does it, blah, 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 blah. So my thought or idea was kind of coming from the angle of, okay, well, first of all, if you haven't heard the story of R. Kelly, you can go, he's all over the place. Just Google R. Kelly investigation, and then you'll find, basically, it's supposed to be some kind of sex cult. That he preys on, not necessarily younger women, but he preys on women, and apparently they're of age, and he takes them, promises them a music career, and then from there he goes and they move off to live with him, and once they get there, the rules change. They got to dress a certain way, they got to wear their hair a certain way, they got to call him daddy,
girl,
and any other thing that he asked them to do. Now, one in particular, her parents became very concerned, and started calling the police and putting out press conferences, about, we want our daughter back. And here's the thing about when it comes to manipulation of the mind. You see, there is a such thing as manipulation of the mind. And how do you gain control over someone without it being clearly seen among so many things are so clearly hidden that's right in front of our face. And so it's like, well, how do you do that? Well, you make the victim feel as if they're in control, like they have the option, but really it's some seeds that you have planted that begins to grow in that individual. And honestly, come to think of it, we know our family members, especially those that are close to us, people that we grew up with, in the same house with, or whatever. We know our family members. We know if their attitudes start to change, it's like all of a sudden it's like a mental switch or a flip, and it's like, oh my goodness, what happened to so-and-so? So what do you guys think? Comment down in the comment section below. Do you really think he's running a sex cult? Do you really think that the girl really knows what she's doing and she's just out there living her life? Or do you really think that he's really manipulating her and the family is just concerned about getting their daughter back? Because I was always told, anyone that takes you away from your family when you start dating them or seeing them or whatever the relationship is, and all of a sudden you just start drawing away from your family, that's kind of a dangerous sign. Because now, I'm not talking about in all cases, I'm just talking about in some, that really is a dangerous sign, especially if you grew up in a family that you know loves you, cultivates you, would teach you things, you know, had morals and all that other kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden now you don't want to be around everybody when everybody was always close knit. So what do you guys think? Comment down in the comment section below. So the next topic for today is an 11-year-old girl named Jamanisha. Now, upon hearing about this young lady, I began to understand. I mean, I began a long time ago, but it just brings back memories of me wanting to go somewhere and my mother not letting me go, or my father not letting me go, and hanging out with, you know, certain people. And this story right here just confirms even more, because it's been confirmed, but confirms even more the reasons why, you know, my parents really didn't let me go anywhere. So if you haven't heard of the story, this is basically the story in a nutshell. This young lady goes to a sleepover with a bunch of friends, and you know, it was like a regular sleepover, things that girls regularly do, you know, like play games, watch movies, tell stories, whatever. It was a regular sleepover, right? And it appears that one young lady had threatened her or had warned her that, you know, if you fall asleep, something bad is going to happen to you. Now, we know, you know, as young women, we know that a lot of times we would go stay the night at our friend's house, and people like to play jokes if you fall asleep, like putting ugly makeup on you, or, you know, putting your finger in a glass of water so that you'll pee on yourself, or even pouring a cold glass or something of water on you. But never have I been somewhere, and if we were going to play a joke on somebody, has it been, oh, well, let's pour boiling hot water, you know, on someone. Now, this young lady is 11, and I believe the perpetrator or whoever did it was older than her. And like I said, you can Google it. This story is out there, and my heart was really, I'm like, how would you like to feel like you don't fell off to sleep, probably in a good sleep, and then all of a sudden your face is burning and your shoulders are burning, and you probably feel like you can't breathe because it is water, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, who would think, you know, to throw just water, or boiling water on someone? You know what I'm saying? That's just like someone who has a friend who likes to torture cats or birds or dogs, you know, just tie them up and cut them up. And you know, have to be careful, you know, with children, with our children. I mean, this even goes along with when they talk about daycare stories, and who, you know, took your child to daycare and you're entrusting them to these people, and then all of a sudden they come back with like a broken arm or a finger, and it's like, okay, how many people work here? Why didn't nobody find out? Now, I'm not saying that mistakes don't happen and all this other kind of stuff. I'm not saying that. But for someone to literally get up, boil water, and then walk into the room and pour it, it's like, you know, we have to be careful. We have to be careful who we let our kids be around. It's important for parents, or even people, for parents or guardians or aunties, uncles, if the child is in your possession at that time, to watch their surroundings, watch their friends, watch who they hang out with, pay attention to their conversations. You know, as a young girl, you know, I really didn't get a cell phone. I really didn't need one, you know, but I didn't have my first cell phone until I was a freshman in high school. And the only reason why that happened was because at that point, I knew that I needed contact with my parents, because I was planning on being on the volleyball team at that time, and I needed someone to come pick me up. And it wasn't like, oh, I could just go back into the school, go down the hallway. No, it was easier to have a phone. So my father bought me a flip phone, and it was blue. At least it was my favorite color, and it was from Verizon. That was my first ever cell phone, but you know, he got me one, and I was able to, you know, call him or whatever. But before then, I had to use the house phone, and everyone knows on the house phone that one, hey, you know, call once, and if a man picks up, don't say anything, just hang up, or you know, call, and if it sounds like my mother picks up, you know, or call, and when I answer, I'll say the code word so that you know it's just me, you know what I'm saying? Or when you guys are on the phone and then you hear somebody pick up, and so you quickly hang up the phone, or you take the cordless house phone and you put it in your room under the pillow, You know what I'm saying? And then, so that way you can call out to your friend, but tell them don't call you back and whatever. If you hang up, don't call back. I'll call you. Those were the days. But yes, those type of measures that had to be taken because parents didn't let me. I went places, but unless they really felt comfortable letting me go, you know. And it's not to say that nobody does that now, but it kind of, a lot of the young kids now seem like they can do a lot more than, you know, I could do or my friends could do when we were younger, and it's kind of scary, you know. And I'm not in no way saying that, oh, her parents didn't know who her daughter was. No. I'm just pointing out the importance of knowing. And I'm not blaming the parents. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just saying the importance of knowing. And then when you have kids that are, you know, staying at your house, to be watching them and to be, you know, because things like this that happen, it is so detrimental to the child. And so, like I said before, I'm not saying nobody made a mistake. This is just to open up a dialogue about watching children and the importance of hearing their conversations, and even about bullying. And, you know, if a child is saying someone is talking about them 9 times out of 10, and it's a lot worse now than it was when I was in school. I mean, it was only until I really started speaking up for myself when I realized, oh, half of these people don't even mean what they say. Like, you know, you hear people say stuff about you, and because you can get intimidated because of words, they'll keep doing it. But then when you start like speaking up for yourself, 9 times out of 10, they're not really going to do what they're going to do. Anyway, what do you guys think about the 11-year-old girl who went to go stay the night, and now, you know, she's in the hospital due to another kid's actions? What do you guys think? Comment down below.
And even after filming this video, I also read that the mother thought that it came from a prank, something called the hot water challenge. You know, I'm like, okay, these pranks are really starting to get out of hand. You know, when the child all of a sudden gets silent, it's like, where you at? You need to be in a room where I hear TV, noise, you playing with your cousins, something, whatever. But I continue to pray for Geminisha as she continues to heal. And we just continue to pray for all of our kids, that God will cover all of them and that they grow up to be who they were meant to be.
Talk to you guys later. See you guys in my next video. Bye.